Okay, now I think it's time to talk about esports. Now, if you currently don't know what's going on, esports is basically collapsed in real time. It is not looking good for it at all, and every time when esports seems to be in the center of attention, it's never there for a good reason. It's always there because this company is losing a lot of money, or some drama is happening with someone who's signed to one of these companies. It's not looking great. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest esports fan. I'm not going to pretend I'm someone who's watching every single game, I know every single player, and I'm like well versed in all these organizations, and I'm like an esports hardcore person. I'm not. I'm a very casual esports enjoyer. How sometimes I will see if a game that I like is interested in playing, I'll go catching on the game and see people basically play at the max and highest level you could. That's just a real experience to have. A game that I watch a lot of competitive tournaments is being Rocket League, because Rocket League is one of those games that I wish that I was good at. Like, it's a game that I'll sometimes delude myself and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go play this game and be absolutely amazing on it, and then I remember that I'm terrible at the game, and then I just don't play it, and then I go back to watching like esports people play the game, and then the cycle continues where I think, yeah, I'm gonna go and play the game again and absolutely dominate, and then it goes on until the rest of eternity. But one thing that me and I'm assuming a lot of people have thought is that esports probably make a lot of money. They have all these big players that they sign and spend a lot of money on signing, because some of these esports players do get paid a good amount, and they have all these crazy sponsorships, and some of them even have some crazy insane brand deals. And then you have way more streamers who are getting into esports and are like watching the games or like talking about it, so you probably think to yourself that esports is profitable. But one thing that I think a lot of people have been learning is that is an absolute lie. Esports is not profitable at all. If you say the word profit or making money next to these organizations, I'm assuming they just go absolutely feral and just jump scare you, because apparently that's something that you just can't say because it's not real. These companies have not been profitable for a very long time, and I think the one thing that completely showed this and put this in the limelight, put it to show lights on it, has to be Faze. Faze is something that I think a lot of people know, but not everyone, because I do think there's like a good amount of people who have no clue what Faze is. They're basically esports organization and an organization of streamers in general. You know, they have a bunch of people, and there was something that I do remember being extremely big back in the day. Way back in the day where people used to make those compilations, crazy, insane editing, and doing stuff like quick scoping, and everyone's dream back then was to be part of Faze. I think we all know how the Faze story goes, that they decided to go open, and ever since that happened, it has been nothing but a negative, because their stock has been dropping so much. They have literally been some YouTubers who make like quick updates every single time when the stock drops, just so I can tell more about it. Like, look how bad it is, and well, it keeps on getting worse. It has no seem to get better at all. I mean, look at that literal decline. You have an obvious top, and then it takes like this slip and slide all the way down with no seams to stop it. They have lost tons of money of this decision, and this seems to be a lot of esports organization. Again, it's just not profitable at all to own these, which is something that you do see a lot of people who were in esports saying that's not profitable. But again, you see like how they're doing from the outside, like from someone who's from the outside looking in, you think that, well, they're doing well because they have all these crazy brand deals, just to get learned that they're literally not. And the main reason why I'm talking about this is this has recently reached some boiling point, because it has caused a lot of esports organizations just to basically collapse literally out of nowhere. I think two that a lot of people are bringing up is basically CLG. This is one organization which was still signing players. That's the crazy part. They didn't just completely come out of nowhere. Just a couple months ago, they were saying that we're going to get new players and they're 100% fine. Just for them just to reveal out of nowhere that they're not. And they're basically at the point where they're just kind of giving up and just waiting for some bigger company to go and buy them. And that's one thing that a lot of orgs are doing. They basically accept this whole thing and saying, yeah, this whole situation isn't doing good, and basically just hope someone else will go and like pick them up, which is just extremely sad to see. You know, to see something that I have enjoyed and see something that I've watched for a good amount of time just basically collapse like this is just crazy. We basically have learned that the esports whole franchises basically stick together with bubblegum and tape, and they have now reached a point of panic mode where they're trying to do literally anything to make money. Like, I think one famous thing that Faze ended up doing was getting Snoop Dogg, where kind of out of nowhere it got revealed that Snoop Dogg was going to join Faze, which to a lot of people made absolutely no sense, because when you think about like Snoop Dogg in gaming, you probably think about his Twitch channel. This is something that I feel like a lot of people have forgotten about, but he had a Twitch channel, and it was probably one of the weirdest things of all time. Like, for a good majority of time for his streaming, it was mostly muted, because when he will stream, everything on the stream will be like muted, and he seems to rather not know or not really care enough to fix it, because it was like that for I think for like a couple of weeks until he ended up realizing. And then also he had that one moment where he ended up rage quitting and just left the stream on, and it was just extremely weird. So they ended up picking him up and saying that he's part of Faze, but he hasn't really do anything. The only thing he really has is this image right here. Not just for a couple hours later he ended up deciding that he's leaving. It seems like nothing bad happened. He just wanted to just get up and go. You know, I guess he took his shit share, he took some money, and it was like, it's just time for me to leave. And this whole act, for some reason, caused a catalyst, and that's a lot of people talking about esports. The whole esports scene is just a pretty spooky place to go into, and I'm really interested to see what these esports organizations are going to do next, because I don't think it's absolutely over for esports. Like, I don't think the whole franchise is going to collapse and is randomly going to end and we're never going to see competitive gaming tournaments again. It is going to happen. If the Super Smash Bros. Community can show, it doesn't matter how much like fight back or how much bad things that can happen to you. If a lot of people want to see competitive gaming, they will do as much crazy things as possible to make sure the tournaments and stuff happen. So I think esports is going to be 100% fine, but it is kind of crazy to see, and something that I think is important, because even if you're not really into it like me, esports is something that's really important to gaming. It's kind of like the only form of like big competitive thing that we have, so I think it's something that should still be around. Anyway, my name is Lua. This is something that I want to talk about. You have a good day or night. See ya.